what is wrong with me? Why do I behave this way? So I haven't been myself lately, and quite honestly, I've pulled myself back from all of my social media and watching the news because it was just making me, you know, anxietied out and even more stressed. And then I got to thinking, this time of year has just always been so stressful for me, and I'm just so anxietied out, and I'm spiraling down into this abyss. And I'm beginning to wonder if it's because of the holidays, or is it my usual cycle of depression, anxiety, stress, and rage. So lately, I've been trying not to beat myself up over my mood swings. And I have to remind myself that I also have a lot of comorbidities. And comorbidity, simply put, is having your one or two main disorders, and then, you know, a whole bunch of other things with it. Like, I'm autistic with ADHD, but I also struggle with childhood trauma, um, PTSD, anxiety, and depression, insomnia. I deal a lot with um, chronic pain. Every day I'm in so much pain, and that's so interesting in and of itself because I deal with my pain so well that people would never know that I'm in pain all the time. And even to the point where I'm so used to my excruciating pain that when I go to the doctor and he asks me how my pain is, I'm like, oh, it's fine. Because I'm just so used to the pain and I have such a high pain threshold that I even forget to talk about it, with my doctor. And so I've just been dealing with a lot of, I believe, my comorbidities and everything like that. And lately, I am just in this stressed out, burnt out rage. And sometimes I understand why people think we're rude when we're not being rude because we don't understand like our tone. Like I don't hear my tone. I just hear my words. And in my mind, I know what I'm trying to convey. And 10 times out of 10, it's not anything rude or condescending, but I'm beginning to understand how it comes off that way. And so lately, I'm in this rage that I haven't felt in a long time. And it dawned on me that I might be dealing with this new thing that I came up with doing my research called pathological demand avoidance. Like, what the hell is that? And is there a name for everything? So, what got me researching was I was just so confused because I'm like, it's why do I keep acting like this? And there's this small part of me, for some reason I thought, oh, okay, so now that I know I'm autistic with ADHD, all those little weird quirky things I do, just stop doing it. And it doesn't work that way. I can't stop doing it. And I'm beginning to realize that I'm autistic and I have a different neurological way of moving through the world. And so what is happening is and it sounds so childish, I literally hate being told what to do, to the point where it was so stressful for me, what I'm going through right now. That's what caused me to do the research, And that's when I found this thing called pathological demand avoidance. And as I was reading down through it, I was like, I'm doing all of those things to this poor person that I was talking to. So I'm 64 years old. And right now I'm on the Affordable Care Act for my health insurance. For all you dumbasses out there that don't do your research, the ACA is Obamacare. Just in case you weren't aware of that, it's the same thing. And I love my Obamacare. It's affordable, and I have everything I need, and I can see my therapist, who I've been seeing for 8 years. And so the insurance I'm currently on right now only costs me $64 a month, and I pay nothing for my prescriptions, and I can see my therapist as many times as I want. So where's the demand avoidance coming in? I turned 65 in January, and I'm being forced to take Medicare. I'm being forced to take it. And there's only two choices. I can choose the one with no monthly payment, and then I have to pay for my prescriptions. That sucks. Or I can pay over $200 a month and, still not be able to see my therapist, because why? She doesn't take Medicare, because Medicare says you can only see a therapist within their approved facilities, and she's not a facility. And so I'm losing my shit. I've had my therapist for going on 7 or 8 years, and the thought of not being able to see her again is literally sparking rage. And no, I can't afford to see her on my own, because, she's $200 per session, and I've been seeing her once a week. And I'm on very, very limited financial income because I'm on Social Security. And so I've literally been raging. And so the poor man that was helping me through everything took the brunt of my attitude. And I kept explaining to him, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not being rude or yelling at you. I'm yelling at the situation that I'm in as far as my health care. And I said, and I have issues with things that I can't control. And this is completely, totally out of my control. And I'm not getting what I want. So after doing my research, I realized that I went through all of the steps of demand avoidance. And the first one was making excuses. And I was like, but I'm autistic and ADHD, and I have all these different comorbidities, and I need to be able to see my therapist. And he was unmoved by that. And he's like, well, there is no way to see your therapist because she's not on the list. Well, that made me angry. And I'm like, well, I need you to look again. And he's like, but I'm looking at it right now. And I'm like, well, are you sure? I said, just do it. Just look again. And so I could tell he pretended to look again. He's like, yeah, nope, she's not on the list. So I moved to the next thing that was on the list for PDA, which is procrastinating. And so after I got mad and we got off the phone with that initial conversation, then I just started procrastinating, because he needed specific information from me to be able to move forward, with my Medicare. And so I'll show me. And I just didn't call him back, didn't look for the information that I needed, didn't bother to look for my, my Medicare card, all of those little things. Well, eventually the other me in there somewhere was like, look, we need to get this done, because if we don't get it done, and if you don't have at least some say in it, they're just going to pick for you, and then you're really going to be mad. And so I had to stop the procrastination. Kind of the next things I went through with him when I got back on the phone with him a few days later was just, you know, just manipulating and negotiating and, just trying to push my agenda. And that didn't work either. And so then I withdrew into this fantasy world, and I told him, I said, the perfect insurance for me would be, I, pay a little bit of money per month. I have all my prescriptions covered. I'd be able to see my therapist. I'd be able to do all of these things that I need to do, and it would all be affordable. And he just flat out said, well, that's not going to happen. He goes, that's not going to happen. You're going to be 65 years old in January, and you are going to go on Medicare, either the $0 per month plan or the $200 a month plan. Which one is it going to be? Well, I lost my shit. The last techniques of pathological demand avoidance is physically or verbally attacking the person, shooting the messenger, which is exactly what I did. And I just went off on this verbal diatribe that would have just melted the skin and muscle and tendons off of, any normal living animal. And I didn't feel bad about it at the time. I felt bad about it once my mouth stopped moving. And he was still so kind, and he said, he was kind but firm, and he said, I understand why you're behaving the way you are. And he goes, and I need you to understand that no matter what, at the end of the day, you have to take Medicare. You will not be able to see your therapist unless you pay out of pocket. He goes, and the sooner you accept that, the better it's going to be for you mentally, he said. Well, fuck you. Who do you think you are telling me what I already know? So yeah, after having that supercharged conversations with this wonderful insurance agent who was just trying to help me, that's when I was like, what is wrong with me? Why do I behave this way? And that's why I did the Google search on just that behavior. And that's how I found pathological demand avoidance. It's a mouthful, but I'd like to know if you struggle with that too. I feel so childish. It's like, I don't want to be told what to do. I want what I want when I want it. And I know it sounds crazy to the outsider, but I want what I want when I want it, because I need that. I need it. And I need the control of it. Without the control, I feel like I don't have a foundation, and I don't feel like my feet are on the ground. I feel like I'm disconnected and distended into something that's not me when situations get out of my control. And yes, I realize that we can't control everything. I know those things. That's another thing that's, frustrating for me is the knowing that there are just things you can't control. Control what you can control. And so I just wanted to come on here and talk about that a little bit. And one of the things I'm going to try to control moving forward is just my eating. I'm starting to get chunky again. I do every winter. Don't we all? Been putting on the feed bag. But for me lately, I haven't even been having my one healthy meal per day. I'm stress eating. And when I'm stress eating like that, I'm literally a bottomless pit, and I never get full. And then I also have another thing I want to research is, what is it about me that I don't know when I'm hungry? I don't know when I'm full. I don't know when I need to go to the bathroom, sometimes until it's too late. I don't know what I'm feeling until it's too late. So there's that. And so that's bad for me, having an eating disorder and then stress eating to the point where I don't ever get full. And that's concerning. I can control my eating, so I think starting today, I'm going to be doing that a little bit more and going back to my protein shakes and hard-boiled eggs for lunch every day, and hoping that gaining a little bit of control over part of my life will make the rest of my life, I don't know, be a little bit better and be smoother. Anyway, thanks for listening. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that you guys are here for me when I need to, verbally dump like this and just get stuff off my brain. And so I just always enjoy spending time with you, as you know. And I hope you enjoy spending time with me. And don't forget to, you know what I'm going to say, drink plenty of water and stay hydrated. Our bodies, our organs, and our brains need it, more than we think. And, take your meds if that applies to you. That's important for us. And try to eat at least one healthy meal per day. I'm going to try. And have a great day. If there's something going on in your life and you keep questioning it, do a Google research and see if there's, something going on, and learn something about yourself today. And with that said, have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.